And welcome in everybody to the University of St. Francis Hutzel Athletic Center for today's Crossroads League matchup between the Crossroads League leading Marian University Knights. The Lady Knights enter tonight's contest with a 14-2 overall record, 6-0 in conference play. They'll be taking on the host squad, your University of St. Francis Lady Cougars, 3-12 overall, 2-3 in conference play. Last time out, the University of St. Francis did lose here at the Hut this past Thursday, and it was a 3-1 decision against the Taylor University Lady Trojans. Looking at today's game day program put together by Sports Information Director Bill Scott. Says USF out for upset over number 25 Marian. League leading Marian University invades the Hutzel Athletic Center tonight to put the University of St. Francis to the test in the only home match this week for the Lady Cougars. The Knights put a 12-game winning streak on the line, as well as a 6-0 Crossroads League record. Marian is tied for 25th in the most recent NAIA Coaches Top 25 and are 14-2 overall. USF looks to get back in the win column after a 3-1 loss last Thursday against Taylor. Cassidy Rammel led USF in kills with 17 against TU, the second time in 4 matches that Rammel has had 17 kills. In Crossroads League only play, Rammel is tied for number 3 in kills per set at 3.1. She is tied with Marian's Casey Sawyers. Rammel is number 6 in Crossroads League only kills with 65. Sawyers tied at number 8 with 61. USF is number 50 in NAIA team stats with 670 kills as a team. Sawyers ranks number 2 in NAIA service aces with 39. Marian's Vanessa Lay is number 24 in NAIA digs with 284 on the season. The Knights have won 4 of their 6 Crossroads League matches by the score of 3-0. The other 2 they won 3-1. So taking a look here at some of the top players for the Marian University Knights. Ann Strevels. Strevels wears number 2. She's a sophomore middle blocker, stands 6 feet tall from Indianapolis, Indiana, Roncalli High School. She leads the team with 46 blocks, also has 104 kills. Julie Hoying. Julie leads the team in assists with 292. She's a senior setter from Fort Laramie, Ohio, Fort Laramie High School. Franny Stevenson wears number 7. She's a senior outside hitter, 5'11", from Greenfield, Indiana, Eastern Hancock High School. She leads Marian with 157 kills. And then Casey Sawyers, she has 39 service aces to lead Marian University, and that ranks her number 2 in the NAIA. Casey also leads Marian with 211 points. And Vanessa Lay leads Marian in digs with 284. That ranks her number 24 in the country. University of St. Francis is led by Cassidy Rammel. She's got 127 kills and 18 service aces. Kendra Seifring leads St. Francis with 42 blocks. Valerie Flick with 191 digs. And Maria Pilak leads St. Francis with 349 assists. Pilak, the freshman setter, stands 5'8" from Matawan High School out of Michigan. Valerie Flick is a sophomore, stands 5'7" from Muncie Central High School out of Muncie, Indiana. Kendra Seifring's a middle hitter, freshman, 6'1" transfer from Ohio Dominican University. And Cassidy Rammel's an outside hitter, a junior at 6 foot from Fort Recovery High School, Fort Recovery, Ohio. We will send it down now for the starting lineups and the national anthem.
Please enjoy the game. At this time, the University of St. Francis would like for you to stand while we first pray, and then we will honor the United States of America with the playing of our national anthem. First, let us pray. Loving Lord, we thank you for all you have given us, the gift of this day, these coaches, athletes, officials, and fans. Keep us all safe today, free from harm and injury. Help us to love and respect each other and ourselves. And in the words of St. Francis, enlighten the darkness of our minds and hearts. Give us a right faith, a firm hope, and a perfect charity, so that we may always and in all things act according to your holy will. Amen. Please welcome the following athletes and coaches from Marian University. Number 1, Olivia Goto. Number 2, James Stevens. Number 3, Sarah Flynn. Number 4, Number 5, Julia Porter. Number 7, Brandon Stevenson. Number 8, Megan Howard. Number 9, Hannah Trout. Number 10, Taylor Trucker. Number 12, Casey Sayers. Number 13, Taylor Miller. Number 14, Alexis Shields. Number 15, Vanessa Lake. Number 16, Abby Burns. Number 17, Courtney Peters. And number 1, that's it. Marian University Knights are coached by Ashley Richard and assisted by Justin Kerr, Sarah Johnson, and Eva Stevenson. Now for your University of St. Francis, Lady Cougars! Number 1, 5'10" freshman from Albany, Marian Ignacio. Number 2, a 6-foot junior from Fort Recovery, Ohio, Cassidy Reynolds. Number 3, outside 5'9" freshman from Rensselaer, Indiana, Emily Barber. Number 4, 5'9", defensive specialist, sophomore from Muncie, Indiana, Nikki Marshall. A 5'10" junior, right side from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Laura Steary. A freshman, senior 5'11" from Decatur, Indiana, Lindsay Barber. Number 7, 6-foot freshman from Fort Recovery, Ohio, Kendra Seaford. Number 8, a 5'7" libero sophomore from Muncie, Indiana, Valerie Leck. Number 9, a middle hitter, 6'1" freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Madeline Omo. Number 10, a right side, 6'1" sophomore from Valparaiso, Indiana, Nate Clark. Number 11, a 5'4" junior from South Bend, Indiana, Sarah Bozinski. Number 12, a setter
all set here at the Hutzel Athletic Center for the first set in tonight's match, a Crossroads League match for the Lady Cougars. St. Francis currently with a 2-3 conference record that has the Lady Cougars in 6th place all by themselves. Right ahead of St. Francis is Huntington University in 5th place, Grace College in 4th place, Taylor University in 3rd, Indiana Wesleyan, who fell out of the NAIA Top 25 this past week in the latest poll. Wesleyan's now at number 28 ranked, but they're in 2nd place with a 6-1 conference record, 12-3 overall. Marian University is 6-0 in conference play. The Knights beat Grace at home, went on the road and beat MVNU, Taylor, and Spring Arbor, then hosted Goshen and Bethel and won both of those. Their last 3 matches have been wins 3-0 for the Lady Knights out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Marian's been doing a good job lately getting all their teams really competitive on the national scale. The next program, I'm sure the Knights are eagerly anticipating a quick turnaround, is men's basketball. It's been a while since the men's basketball teams put together a real good season. But last we heard they were getting ready to build a brand new basketball arena, so that should certainly help with recruiting, and they got a new coach. But we're off here, and that was Maria Pilak with the serve, the freshman setter. Ball goes to the back row. Pilak over to, that's Ava Kunkler with the dink shot. Now on the other side, good dig for Valerie Flick, and they're going to say there's a double hit for St. Francis, so the Lady Knights get the first point of the match and lead it 1-0. Back to serve for Marian will be number 12, Casey Sawyers. Senior, the outside hitter. She's a good one for the Marian University Knights. Big with the jump serve. Wow, there was a little bit of velocity on that jump serve there, but the kill goes to the University of St. Francis as the Lady Cougars tie this match up at 1 apiece. Folks, you saw that devastating serve right there by Sawyers. There's no doubt that she ranks number 2 in NAIA with a serve like that. Makes you wonder if she might have a future in beach volleyball. Last I heard, beach volleyball is one of the most popular up-and-coming sports in NC2A and college athletics. As the point's going to go to the University of St. Francis. That was number 7, Kendra Seifring, for the Lady Cougars. We're tied at 2. But yeah, with a devastating serve like that, I could see her advancing on to some beach volleyball. We had a player here in Fort Wayne get a full ride scholarship to, I think, Georgia State to play beach volleyball, and she was one heck of a server. Good rally there for the Knights. As the ball set over, that's Cassidy Rammel, picked up by Sawyers out of the back row. Now the dump shot for Stevenson was picked up by the Lady Cougars. Ann Clark's going to send it over, and the kill. Ann Clark, great looking shot there. She enters tonight with 67 kills. She's got 38 assists, 5 service aces, 79 digs, and 26 blocks. 87.5 points on the season for Ann Clark, as that ball is going to go just a bit long. Lady Cougars up 4-2. Back with the serve once again is the freshman Kendra Seifring. That serve's going to go wide right. That'll pull the Lady Knights to within 1. 4-3 is your score. Back to serve it for the Lady Knights will be number 4, Maddie Heffron, a sophomore setter from Lebanon, Indiana, Lebanon High School. Folks, we do have live stats for you for tonight's match. You can go to DAC Stats and go to the webcast to find those live stats as Marian ties it up at 4s. You can also go to stfranciscougars.com, and on the top right of the screen, click on live stats, and that'll take you to the webcast as well. Bump goes over to Ann Clark, middle of the floor. Good dig by the Lady Knights, and then the spike. That was number 14, Alexa K. Shields. Clark with another kill gives St. Francis the lead, 5-4. It'll be Clark now back to serve it for the Lady Cougars. That was Shields. Shields calls for it and gets it, and that will be a kill for Alexa K. Shields. Pretty cool name. I'm not sure that I've seen Alexa K. for a woman's first name, but I guess the last time was probably when Marian was here a year ago. Alexa K. Shields, senior outside hitter, 5'11", from Martinsville, Indiana. Set goes over to Cassie Rammel. That was picked up by the DS, Vanessa Lay. She's a senior from Lebanon, Ohio. Big block at the net. Shields was there along with number 3, Sarah Clem. 6'5", Marian on top. With the serve for the Lady Knights will be Megan Hawley, a sophomore defensive specialist. She's from New Palestine High School. Nope, she's from New Palestine, Indiana, Warren Central High School. Dub C. Point to the Knights. Dub C took a L last Friday when they took on their rival Ben Davis on the football field. Ben Davis is ranked number 8 nationally and the top team in the MIC. Kill goes to the University of St. Francis. Lady Cougars down in this match, 7-6. Back to serve will be Cassidy Rammel. Rammel once again leads St. Francis in kills with 127. She's got 11 assists, 18 service aces, which also leads St. Francis. She's got 95 digs and 16 blocks on the season. Rammel also leads the Lady Cougars with 154.5 points on the season. 8-6 your score. Marian on top. With the serve will be number 16, Maddie Kierans. She's a freshman defensive specialist from Fortville, Indiana, Mount Vernon High School. Clark. Set goes over to Ava Kunkler. Kunkler's been fantastic here at the hut for Coach Scott Haddix. That block will stay on Marian's side, so that's a kill for Megan D'Agostino. Back to serve for the Lady Cougars will be Valerie Flick. Valerie wears number 8 for St. Francis. She has 32 kills on the season, 17 assists, 8 service aces, 191 digs that leads St. Francis, 6 blocks, 43.5 points. She's your defensive specialist wearing the neon yellow uniform. Big hit and a nice dig by Valerie Flick. That one was right in the breadbasket. Flick was right there, and boy, she reacted right away, but the ball was just hit too hard. 9-7 is your score with the Knights on top. Back with the serve will be number 5, Julie Hoying, senior setter. She's from Ohio. I know I said this last year. I wonder if she's related to Bobby Hoying, the ex-OSU Buckeye quarterback. I got a good story about Bobby Hoying, but the set goes behind. Kendra Siegfried, that's going to be a kill. Point for St. Francis, 9-8 your score. My good friend growing up, Jabbar Robinson, played middle linebacker at Indiana University and hit Bobby Hoying so hard at the horseshoe that he had to leave the game. That was an Indiana at Ohio State football game. That's going to go out of bounds. Marian up 10-8. Head coach for the Knights, Ashley Pritchard. She's a 2009 graduate from Taylor. She's in her 6th season at Marian. Taylor University had some good squads back there when Ashley Pritchard was playing for the team. Hill, Ava Kunkler and the Lady Cougars. Now it's going to be Nikki Marshall with the serve. She did not play in the contest this past Thursday. making a valuable member to this squad, as that ball looked like it went right off the top of the fingertips of Ann Strevels. Marshall. And right at the net was number 7, Franny Stevenson, the senior. 11-9 your score. Valerie Flick in the middle of the back row for St. Francis. Marshall, Pelak back over to Ann Clark. Gets it through the block, and that's a kill for Annie Clark. Clark, Flick, even though Flick just left the floor. Cassidy Rammel and Maria Pelak, they pretty much never leave the floor for the Lady Cougars. Seafring's out there an awful bunch as well. Megan D'Agostino, the middle hitter on the floor right now, rarely leaves, as that's a nice dig for Pelak, but it's going to be OB. Freshman did make a great attempt at it. 2-point lead here for the Marian University Knights. Oh, speaking of University of St. Francis against Marian, it's going down, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, 6 p.m. on the campus of Marian University under the lights. It'll be a huge showdown between two of the better football squads in the whole country. I believe Marian's ranked number 9 right now. St. Francis at number 1 for the 5th consecutive poll. Last year, the Knights actually beat your Cougars in the regular season, but then it was St. Francis winning the national title, so I think you'll take that any day of the week. Folks, today's broadcast is brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine, the exclusive sports medicine provider for the Cougars.
Beautiful baby, you're sweeter than strawberry pie. Just like the morning, your smile brings the sunshine.
The Parkview Family Birthing Centers, with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hutzel Athletic Center, where St. Francis has 9 kills, Marian only 5. The Lady Cougars with a 35-3 attack percentage, 36-4 for Marian. 5 assists for the Knights, 9 for St. Francis, 5 digs to 5 digs. And the Knights with 1 ace, St. Francis with 0, as we're back to the action. 3-point advantage for the Lady Knights. That will go off Cassidy Rammel. Lady Cougars doing a good job of saving a collision there, as Valerie Flick moving forward, Rammel moving backwards. Rammel hard first touch. So that goes over to Marian's end. And I believe we have Marian into the net. That was number 7, Franny Stevenson. Franny Stevenson's one of the top players for the Knights. Leads the squad with 157 kills. She has 4 assists, 0 service aces, 43 digs, 19 blocks, 167.5 points on the season. And we got a blocking error going to be called on Marian. Lady Cougars pull within 2. It's Annie Clark with the serve. She leads all players on the floor right now with 4 kills in this match. That's Ann Clark. Sent over by Stevenson. Pelak sets it up behind for D'Agostino, and that is in. Oh, they call that just long. Look good from up here in the crow's nest. In to serve it for Marian will be number 8, Megan Hawley. Folks, my name is Jeff Mahoney, bringing you the play-by-play. Long day for me today as we had early morning football practice. That way we can get all the guys there. Hawley's going to send it over, and that's OB. Point for the Lady Cougars. St. Francis pulls within 2, 15-13 is your score. Back to serve will be Cassidy Rammel. Rammel with the jump serve. And that will go OB. Service error for Cassidy Rammel. Entering today, once again, a team high 18 service aces and 26 service errors. That's 10 more than the closest Lady Cougar. Ann Clark has 16. Now that's number 16, Maddie Kierans. D'Agostino looking for the dump shot. Ann Clark does a good job of bumping it over as that was sent right back at the Lady Cougars. That block will go OB. Ava Kunkler, D'Agostino going up after it. 17-13 Marian University. The Lady Knights. Clark and Pelak had to race after that one. Not a good first hit there for the Lady Cougars. Down 18-13. Kierans, a freshman, Fortville, Indiana, Mount Vernon High School. Pelak over to Ava Kunkler with the kill. Lady Cougars pull within 4. Once again, we do have live stats for tonight's match. St. Francis up in kills 10-7. Here in set number 1. Lady Cougars down 18-14. That was a serve by Valerie Flick. Nice block at the net. Kunkler along with Seifring from the opposite side. That was number 12, Sawyers. Point. That was Shields with a big hit. Shields can flat out swing it for the Lady Knights. She's a good one, and really she's been instrumental in getting this program to the top of the Crossroads League. Back to serve will be Julie Hoyne. Set. And a nice block at the net. That's Seifring along with Pelak. Outstanding block. We'll go ahead and get out. Dink shot by Ann Strevels. Clark sends it over. Ooh, short set there to Strevels once again, trying to catch Lady Cougars napping. Good dig from the back row. That was Hawley. Flick. Pelak. Back over to Ava Kunkler, and that will fall in. Double hit. Point. Kill. Lady Cougars. Ava Kunkler has some fast twitch muscles down there as she can explode off the floor quickly. Set, middle set, holy moly, big hit there by Sawyers. She brought the serve to the net that time. Flick's gonna have to bump it over. Hawley, set goes behind, left-handed swing there for Hannah Trout. And point to the Lady Knights. They are up 20-16. Marian, folks, once again has won their last 3 matches by the score of 3-0. Seifring, Kunkler getting some instruction from Coach Scott Haddix, who's in his 4th season with the team. Once again, Ashley Pritchard in her 6th season with Marian, as we've got an ace. Who was it? Casey Sawyers. 21-16. Sawyers sets up about 10 feet away from the serve line. And that hit is just amazing. Nice play as Seifring was at the net to block it for the Lady Cougars. Kunkler as well. Kunkler is going to leave the match. Entering is number 4, Nikki Marshall, the sophomore DS, 5'9" from Muncie High School, Muncie, Indiana. Marshall on the season 8 service aces. That ball is going to be blocked at the net. Maria Pelak and Kendra Seifring. They're new to the program and making their presence known 21-18 is your score. Lady Cougars down by 3. Marshall. Nice bump by Franny Stevenson from the back low. That was Sawyers. Ann Clark picked up by the DS, number 15, Vanessa Lay. Lay, also a senior from Marian. These seniors for the Knights have to be proud with where the program are in their senior year. Huge kill, but it goes OB by Hannah Trout. Lady Cougars pull within 2, 21-19. Marshall once again with the service. Nikki 2 points in a row. As the dink shot goes OB by Strevels. St. Francis now down by 1, and we got a timeout going to be called by Marian and their coach, Ashley Pritchard. Fort Financial Credit Union is a proud supporter of Cougar Athletics.
Beautiful baby, you're sweeter than strawberry pie. Just like the morning, your smile brings the sunshine.
The Parkview Family Birthing Centers, with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Currently, the Lady Cougars have more blocks than Marian, 3-2. More digs, 13-11. More assists, 12-8. And more kills, 12-8. But it's Marian up here, 21-20 in set number 1. Nikki Marshall, 3 straight points off the service as the set's going to go into the middle. Kill for Franny Stevenson. So a successful timeout there called by Coach Pritchard. And with the serves going to be the defensive specialist, Vanessa Lay. Marshall, Pelak, and over to the opposite side is Cassidy Ramel with the kill. 22-21 your serve. Your score. Now with the serve will be Kendra Seifring trying to tie this match up at 22. Lay sends it over. And nice, D'Agostino was there, got the deflection off the block. D'Agostino with the heads-up play there. She was just, well, it seemed like she just kind of knew that was going to happen. We are tied at 22. It's Seifring with the serve. And into the net. 1 point advantage now for the Lady Knights. With the serve, it's number 4, Maddie Heffron, sophomore setter. That'll be picked up by Marshall. Hard first touch. Pelak did a good job of skying it in the air, giving her teammates time to regroup. Set, and that was right at the net, but point going to go to Marian and Franny Stevenson as they got set point. Oh, excuse me, that point went to St. Francis. Ann Clark. That was Marian too hard with the first touch. Lady Knights into the net. St. Francis now up 24-23, have a chance to take this set. Outstanding work for the Lady Cougars here, battling back late in set number 1. Well, folks, let's take a look at the Lady Cougars schedule here. As always, Coach Scott Haddix he's going to schedule some of the best competition in the NAIA. So St. Francis was in Dillon, Montana to take on Montana Western Evergreen State. Then they traveled to Butte, Montana and took on number 14 Montana Tech. Then they took on Rocky Mountain, Providence University, and Montana Western. Lady Cougars losing all 6 matches to start the season 0-6. Then the Lady Cougars traveled to Columbia, Missouri, where they faced number 8 Columbia Friends out of Kansas, number 4 Park out of Missouri, and number 12 Missouri Baptist. And the Lady Cougars won 1 out of 3. They beat Friends out of Kansas 3-1. Lady Cougars opened up Crossroads League play here at the Hut, taking on Indiana Wesleyan and losing 1-3. Then traveling to Huntington, dropping it 1-3. Then traveling to Grayson, winning it 3-1. At Goshen, winning it 3-2. And then this past Thursday, 6 days ago, dropping the match to Taylor University 1-3. Goshen, they are the cellar dwellers in the Crossroads League with a 7-9 overall record, 0-5 in Crossroads League play. As that block is going to knock OB, we are tied at 24. Lady Cougars there were serving for match point. We are tied up at 24 now. And with the serve for Marian will be number 8, Megan Holly. That was Cassidy Rammel. Pelak back to Rammel. Big kill as the Lady Cougars go back up 25-24. Rammel will go back to serve it here on set point here in the opening set of this Crossroads League match. Rammel with the jump serve. That was the DS, Vanessa Lay. Big hit by Shields, blocked at the net. This time the dink shot by Sarah Clem. Lay from the back row. Set goes over to number 12. That was Sawyers, the big hitter. Now Ava Kunkler. That's a tough play there for the Knights as that rode the net. St. Francis takes set number 1, 26-24. Outstanding as we will watch that one more time. That's Sawyers there, the big hitter. That was picked up by Kunkler. Then the set went over to Kunkler. And that is just a hard play there for Marian as the as the Lady Cougars take set number 1, 26-24. We will head to set number 2 after this short break. Once again, today's broadcast brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine and Fort Financial Credit Union.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, one website, summitcitysports.com. Live stream high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne area athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Summit City Sports. We're back here at the Hutzel Athletic Center. What a great first set there for the Lady Cougars. Cassidy Rammel with 4 kills, a 6.67 hitting percentage. She had 3 digs and also had 1 assist. Nikki Marshall, she had 1 service error, 1 dig, 1 RE, return error. Cassidy Rammel had 1 return error. I had to guess on that one. Kendra Seifring, 1 kill, 1 service error, 1 dig, 2 assists. Valerie Flick with 7 digs to lead the Lady Cougars. Maria Pilak had 3 digs. She had 17 aces to lead all players. Leading Marian was Julie Hoying. She had 6 assists, and Maddie Heffron had 4 assists. Ann Clark with 4 kills, and Ava Kunkler led the Lady Cougars with 5 kills there in that first set. Looking at Marian, Franny Stevenson had 4 kills. Hannah Trout with 3 kills. Ann Strevels with 1 kill. We had 2 service aces. No, we had 2 assists by Alexa K. Shields. Service aces, just 1 for Maddie Heffron, 1 for Casey Sawyers. Sawyers had 4 kills to lead Marian. And we're getting all set here for set number 2. Should be a good one here at the Hut, as St. Francis took the first one 26-24 over the nationally ranked number 25 Marian University Lady Knights. Lady Knights, it's just a short 1 hour and 45-minute drive there to the campus. They've got the bicycle racetrack right by their campus. Can't remember what that thing's called, but Marian's one of the tops in the country when it comes to cycling. Kendra Seifron blocked at the net. That was number 12. Sawyers getting it done for the Lady Knights. Back to serve for Marian as number 5, Julie Hoying, service error. We are tied at 1. I'll tell you what, if Lady Cougars can take set number 2 along with number 3, that would be some momentum here as we're about ready to wrap up the first half of Crossroads League play. Lady Cougars, they've had a tough schedule here at the Hut against the Crossroads League. Lady Cougars have already hosted Indiana Wesleyan, Taylor, and now Marian, the 3 top teams in the Crossroads League. Homecomings this Saturday. You can catch the number 1 ranked University of St. Francis Cougars, as a point's going to go to Cassidy Rammel, and the Lady Cougars were tied at 2. Number one ranked USF will host number 11th ranked St. X. We haven't played St. X in 3 seasons. It was Nick Ferrera's freshman year last time we played St. X, and they beat us by like 20 points. So we're excited to get the Chicago Cougars back in the house, as that's a block by Pilak and Megan D'Agostino as St. Francis takes the lead 3-2. We're happy to get St. X here and, well, show them the 2017 version of the Cougars wearing Cougar blue. Shields with a big swing, and that's going to be a point as she just snuck that one in the OB line. With the serve, Vanessa Lay, the DS. Just a bit long. Oh, no. I don't argue much in volleyball, but that one looked long. Maybe you just got to get a teeny tiny sliver on that line. If that's the case, then maybe it was in. Looked long. Sawyers, good dig by Ann Clark, but a good return by Franny Stevenson with a kill. 5-3, Marian on top. Lay, Nikki Marshall. Set goes over to Cassidy Rammel. Nice dig by Vanessa Lay. Dink shot by Rammel. Set goes behind Ann Clark. Nice play at the net by Sarah Clem. From the back row, that was Sawyer's. Shields. Valerie Flick had to hurry up for that bump, and that's hit out of bounds. So we got a timeout going to be taken by Coach Scott Haddix. And the Lady Cougars, you're watching USF Volleyball, brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine.
Beautiful baby, you're sweeter than strawberry pie. Just like the morning, your smile brings the sunshine.
The Parkview Family Birthing Centers, with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Welcome back to the hut, everybody. In attendance today is the 2016 MSFA Defensive Player of the Year in defensive end Lucas Sparks. He has since graduated, but he better be in attendance because that's Cassidy Rammel, who is his girlfriend. Shields. And right off of Clark and OB, another big hit there for Alexa K. Shields. Alexa K is kind of like Mary Kay, I guess. That's a pretty cool first name, though. Fun to say. Rammel, block at the net. Clark, Pelak, short set over to D'Agostino. D'Agostino's from Indianapolis Cardinal Ritter. You know, Cardinal Ritter plays their home football games on the campus of Marian. At least they used to a few years back. Not sure if they still do. 8-3 is your score. Last time I was on the campus of Marian, they said that they were going to build a newer football stadium. Theirs is like 8 years old, maybe 10, maybe a little older than that. Set goes over, and point to St. Francis is Franny Stevenson's spike goes OB. 4-point ad right now for the Lady Knights, ranked number 25 in the country. The Chicagoland Conference, they've got some really good volleyball. And Marian's only 2 losses came against St. Xavier in the following match. The next day, Trinity Christian. They lost both of them 2-3. The Trolls out of Trinity Christian, I believe they got a 9-7 overall record, so not overly impressive. But St. X, they're receiving votes. They're one of the top teams in the Chicagoland Intercollegiate Conference. So St. X has that going for him right now as Rammel serves it up. 8-5 is your score, the Knights. Oh, perfect placement there by Franny Stevenson. She went up like she was going to really hit it hard. Laid a little bit off there, and the ball just had perfect trajectory. 9-5. 4-point ad. Folks, remember, we do have live stats going on for today's match if you want to follow those as well. If you've got a big computer screen, you can split it up. Ava Kunkler with the kill. 3-point ad right now for the Knights. But I know you don't want to split it up. You'd rather get the screen real big. I get it. That's how we do it. Valerie Flick. Lay comes up. Set goes over, and that was Hannah Trout pushing it over. Now Seafring blocked at the net. Point Knights, that was Clem along with Stevenson. Stevenson's going to leave the match. Coach Scott Haddix is going to take a timeout with his team down 10-6. So homecoming here on the campus of University of St. Francis. It's going to be a great atmosphere under the lights, 6 p.m. kickoff. So I would say, midway through the third quarter is when you're really going to need the lights, going to be a fun day for everybody to get involved. Once again, the Lady Cougars, after today's match against Marian, their next match is Saturday, the 22nd at Spring Arbor, and then they will play at Bethel. That's a 3 p.m. start. So 3 p.m. start. These matches usually last about an hour and 45, just depending on how many sets it goes. Well, let's take a look at Bethel's record. Bethel is 8-11 overall, 1-5 in conference play. So if that were to go 5 sets, hopefully the Lady Cougars will win it in 3. Yes, these Lady Cougars should be able to get back for the second half of the football game. So that would be fun if the Lady Cougars could take part in the festivities. They'll usually group up there behind the field goal post on the north side of the field. Oh, wow. Big hit there for Casey Sawyers. For Sawyers, that is just her 5th kill of the match in 11 total attacks. 11-6 is your score. Serve into the net, point St. Francis. Lady Cougars down by 4, and back to serve it will be Maria Pilak. Pilak, the freshman setter, once again. She is from Matawan, Michigan. Point Lady Cougars. Annie Clark with the kill. 11-8 is your serve, and that's set. The PA announcer doing a great job, as he always does, getting the fans here at the hut into the match. Point, I believe that was number 3, Sarah Clem, the junior middle hitter. She's from Perry Meridian High School, but a transfer from Georgetown out of Kentucky. Georgetown, the last NAIA school that Coach Kevin Donnelly was at before he started the program here at St. Francis. Kill for Kendra Seafring. For Seafring, she now has 2 kills in the match on 4 total attacks. Nikki Marshall back in to serve it up for the Lady Cougs. Nikki, just a sophomore. And she's been a player for Coach Haddix ever since she stepped foot on campus. That's a double hit there for the Marian University Knights, as St. Francis now within 2. The score is 12-10. Set goes over. Oh, nice dink shot there by Casey Sawyers. Obviously, you're going to get up at the net, do whatever you can to block that wicked spike that Sawyers has. The serve is just as vicious. Probably, I can't remember, I can't believe I don't remember her serve from last year, but it's probably the best serve I've ever seen here at the hut. And Sawyers, not sure if her serve is that. Oh, up in the cheap seats. Ann Clark with the wicked kill there. Went off the Marian Lady Knight and probably ricocheted about 10 feet away from me up in the crow's nest. Seafring with the serve. 13-11 your score. Shields laid a little off that one just a little bit. Pilak doing a good job of getting to it. Rammel sends it over. Set goes behind. Shields blocked OB. Lex K. Shields is an intense competitor for the Lady Knights. Back to serve it. Here it comes, Casey Sawyers. When I get a chance here, I'm going to check out Casey Sawyers and what she did last year as far as service aces are concerned. Nikki Marshall doing a good job of handling that one. Ann Clark with the kill. Annie Clark is on fire, folks. She now has 6 kills in the match. Lady Cougars down by 2. As we have a service ace for Ann Clark. Entering today's match, Ann had 5 service aces, so we'll make it 6 on the season. Lady Cougars pull within 1, 14-13. Set goes behind. D'Agostino. That was tipped at the net. Set over to Shields with the dump shot. Marian, this seems like they're as good as they come when it comes to picking when you're going to use the dump shot. The dink shot, whatever you call it, it's a great play when the opposing team's not expecting it. Rammel. And that's going to get Lay keeping it alive. Stevenson sends it over. D'Agostino not going to let him regroup as she sends it right back over. A smart play there for Megan D'Agostino. Set goes to Cassidy Rammel, blocked and off the basketball hoop, and Flick's going to keep it alive. Valerie gets back into position. Shields over to Clark. What a rally we have going here at the net. Blocked by Shields. I think Clem was also there, as it went right off the antenna. With the serve is Lay. Rummel. Flick. Back to Cassidy. Set is short. That was Clem. Kept alive and sent over for Flick. Big swing, and that's OB for Clem. Lady Cougars back within 2. Casey Sawyers leads Marian with 12 total attacks. Her player highs, if we look at her aces, she had 2 against St. X and 2 against Trinity Christian. Pull up the 2016 season. Sawyers did not have any stats for the 2016 season. No wonder I don't remember how many service aces she had last year, or even if she was playing for the Knights last year. That's going to go out of bounds. Point to Stevenson. Point to St. Francis. The pull within 2, 17-15. Valerie Flick with the serve. Set goes behind. Stevenson picked up by Flick. Over to Seafring. Lay doing all she can just to keep it in play. Ava Kunkler. Kunkler from 6 feet out with the kill. St. Francis, they now pull within 1. Lady Cougars playing one heck of a match here. Pelak, Seafring, and Kunkler at the net, as that will be a service error. Marian up 18-16. Back into the match for Marian, Megan Hawley. Clark. Pelak, set goes over to Kunkler from the opposite side. Up into the rafters. Said that a few times today. Kunkler blocked at the net. That was number 9 for the Knights. Hannah Trout along with Clem. Said Clem's name a lot. Well, Sawyers is a transfer from the University of Indianapolis. And she is listed as a senior. Marian currently leads it 20-16. Pelak. Kunkler with the kill. Ava Kunkler doing a good job right there as there's 2 blockers in play. She went further to the right. Nudged it right off the arm. Fell in for the point. Ava Kunkler did not see the most time last year for a true freshman, but here in her sophomore year, you could tell she put in the work in the offseason and got a lot better for Coach Haddock's 4-point advantage now for the Lady Knights, up 21-17. A similar situation that St. Francis was in set number 1. With the serve, number 16, Maddie Kierans. Service error gives St. Francis 18, now within 3. Nikki Marshall's going to check in for Kunkler. Marshall. So that'll be a service error. Marian just 3 points away from taking set number 2, but like I said, they were in a similar situation in set number 1, and then Nikki Marshall went to the line to serve and rattled off like 4 straight points. Now communicating with Valerie Flick. Trying to get it figured out here. Here's the serve. Rammel is picked up in the back row by number 8, Hawley, and the kill. Marian, at one point in this season, they were 2-2. They have won 12 straight matches. Kendra Seafring at the net with the kill. Seafring and Lady Cougars now pull within 4. Set goes behind. Big swing for number 2, Strevels. Now over to Ann Clark. Folks, Ann Clark is absolutely dialed in for this match. She was outstanding in the first set, and now on the match she has 7 kills already here in set number 2. Her squad down by 3. Seafring with the serve. And trying to sneak it in there was Hoying, the setter. Nice kill for Cassidy Rammel. St. Francis now pulls within 2, 23-21. And we got a timeout going to be called by the Marian University Knights. Once again, today's broadcast brought to you by Fort Financial Credit Union.
Beautiful baby, you're sweeter than strawberry pie. Just like the morning, your smile brings the sunshine.
The Parkview Family Birthing Centers, with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Back here at the Hut, Lady Cougars down 23-21. Looking to put on another run like they did in the first set. St. Francis won set number 1, 26-24. After being down, boy, I think we were down 4 points at one point. It was like 23-19. So Lady Cougars have been here and have done it with winning set number 1. Hoying, she's going to set it up for Shields. That's one way to stop any momentum. Just get it over to Alexike Shields. Shields, she has that kind of mental attitude. I mean, I'm sure she can get her team fired up. Just the way she carries herself on the floor, giving 120%. Ann Clark, and that will be blocked. Marian takes set number 2, 25-21. So we are tied up at 1 set apiece as we head into set number 3.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone, or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, one website, SummitCitySports.com. Live stream high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne area athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Summit City Sports. Welcome back here to the Hutzel Athletic Center, getting ready for set number 3. A very exciting first 2 sets here. Lady Cougars are going to be a force to be reckoned with here in the second half of Crossroads League play. Currently with a 2-3 record in conference, getting wins against Grace. Grace currently with a 4-2 conference record. So it's obvious that these Lady Cougars can play with the best of them. Looking at Huntington University, they're 3-3 in conference play, and St. Francis lost when they traveled to Huntington 1-3. So it'll be interesting to see how this team puts it together in the second half of conference play, and if they can make a run to the conference tournament. Top 8 teams will make the conference tournament, with the 1 seed playing the 8th seed and thereon. St. Francis currently right now in 6th place. So the Lady Cougars would play Taylor University if the Crossroads League tournament started tomorrow or today. St. Francis, if we're to win tonight, we would be tied with Huntington with a 3-3 conference record. Lady Cougars' overall record is the worst in conference play. St. Francis has, of the conference teams I should say, St. Francis has an overall record of 3-12, but once again, the competition that they've seen earlier in the season was outstanding. Taking on teams like Montana Tech, Columbia, Park, and Missouri Baptist. Marian University, they're on a 12-match win streak. So it would be just devastating for them if they were to come in to the Hut and lose this one against St. Francis with a 3-12 overall record. But St. Francis playing about as good as I've seen the Lady Cougars this season. And St. Francis really sticking with their staple players in Ann Clark and Cassidy Rammel and Seafring, Pelak, Flick, and now Ava Kunkler, D'Agostino, point Marian up 1-0. Checking in for the Knights is Franny Stevenson. Seafring and Kunkler at the net for the Lady Cougars. High throw up there for number 12, Sawyers. Shields doing a good job of bumping that right into the center of the floor for her team. And what a block! Seafring and Ann Clark with the wall at the net. We're tied at 1. Kunkler's out. Nikki Marshall's in. That was picked up by Vanessa Lay. Stevenson gets it in. Clark going up for the block. Looks like that one got into her forearms and not a whole lot she could do to push it over. Two to one, Marian on top. Vanessa Lay with the serve. Pelak, and that's going to be blocked OB. Cassidy Ramel with the kill. So Kendra Seafring now to serve it up for the Lady Cougars. We're tied at 2. And that's in just long. Yeah, some of the fans in attendance cannot believe it. As Marian's going to go up 3-2. Back to serve, number 4. Maddie Heffron, the sophomore setter, 5'9", Lebanon, Indiana. Just off the top of the net. Clark with the spike. Set goes over to Franny Stevenson. Point. Because I believe Stevenson was into the net. We're tied up at 3s. Lay from the back row. And into the net that time was number 4, Heffron. Dan Clark with the serve. Set right in the middle for Stevenson with the kill. We're back to being tied at 4. Franny Stevenson now has 9 kills, 6 errors, and 20 total attacks. She leads Marian in total attacks. Cassidy Ramel has 21 total attacks for St. Francis, 7 kills. Clark has 19 total attacks, 7 kills for your Cougars. Tied at 4s. Good dig out there by Sawyers. Ramel blocked at the net. Good job by Ann Clark coming up. D'Agostino sends it over, and they're going to call a carry. Double hit for Megan D'Agostino. Marian's up 5-4. St. Francis in both of these sets have been able to keep it close. Just a matter of getting on fire there towards the end of the set. Cassidy Ramel now getting it done for the Lady Cougars. Continuing to tack on the kills. She now has 8. That ties her with Ava Kunkler for a team high. Kunkler with just 15 total attacks. That's the 3rd most for St. Francis. She does lead St. Francis, though, with 8 kills. Stevenson leads all players with 9. So that was forced out by the antenna point by St. Francis. I think that's what that was. Ramel with the jump serve. Lay. That was Hawley over to Sawyer. Set to Kunkler. Lay. Ooh, Sawyer. That was almost like a hook shot in basketball because her body was kind of parallel with me. Like she was just going to flip it over her shoulder. Kunkler in the back row once again. Hawley. Nice dig by Valerie Flick from the hit from Hannah Trout. And the kill. Ramel having a fantastic set as her squad goes up 7-5. Marian having a hard time handling the Lady Cougars here. Clark, Pelak set, goes over to Kunkler. And it falls in for the kill. Kunkler, once again, just outstanding here at the hut. Ava Kunkler is from Portland, Indiana. She went to Jay County High School, Service Air. Marian down by 2, 8-6. Serving it up for the Lady Knights will be Kearns. Maddie Kearns. Set, D'Agostino blocked at the net. Sawyer was a part of that. Another block. Kunkel tried to keep it alive, could not. Last block was by number 2, Strevels, along with Trout, number 9. Marian down 8-7. Lofty serve and a nice deep shot by Maria Pilak. Lady Cougars up by 2. Headsy play there for Pilak. It's Valerie Flick with the serve. Service error. So Marian pulls within 1, down 9-8. The serve is going to be number 5, Julie Hoying. Hoying with the big brace on her right leg. Oh, tough first hit there. Shields having a day at the net. Kunkel looking to return the favor, blocked by Shields partially. Shields to the back row, that was Rammel. And Clark from the middle of the floor, and it falls in for a kill. And Clark now with 8 kills for the Lady Cougars, 1 behind Rammel and Kunkel for a team high. Pilak. Kept alive by Sawyer. Pilak over to Clark. All around, this has been a great match, folks. Alexa K. Shields could not get out of the way of her teammate there. Kind of ensured the point for St. Francis. Lady Cougars up 11-8. Maria Pilak with the serve. Into the net for the service error. 11-9 to score. Checking back in will be number 7, Franny Stevenson. Throwing it up high is Sawyer, as Cassidy Rammel's able to pick it up from the back row and sending it right back at her. Kendra Seafring. That was outstanding there. Sawyer really delivers the fastball, and Seafring put it right back at him. Just as hard. Clocked at 110 miles an hour on the radar gun, which we do not have. Flick, Seafring, Sawyer from the back row. The set goes over to Shields. Ooh. Pilak just kind of looked up. I think she's just thankful she doesn't have a bloody nose after that hit. 12-10. Wes Davenport, the manager, doing a great job as always. Big shout out to Wesley. We'll see you on Saturday, buddy, for the homecoming 6 p.m. kickoff at Bishop Darcy Stadium. Set and kill for Clem. Marian pulls within 1, 12-11. St. Francis, Coach Scott Haddock's going to call a timeout. We'll take a timeout here in the booth. You're watching the University of St. Francis Cougar Athletics, brought to you by Fort Financial Credit Union.
Beautiful baby, you're sweeter than strawberry pie. Just like the morning, your smile brings the sunshine.
The Parkview Family Birthing Centers, with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Back here at the hut, 12-11 is your score. St. Francis on top. We are tied at 1 set apiece. This has been an outstanding night of action here at the Hutzel Athletic Center. We're in Fort Wayne, Indiana, northeast corner of Indiana, about 15 to 20 miles away from Ohio, and about a 45-minute drive down 6-9 from Michigan. Flick just hoping she doesn't get no falls on her. And oh, that set was just a bit wide. Cougars with the point, lead it now 13-11. Kendra Seifring with the serve. That was Stevenson as the set went over to Shields. Block goes OB. Point for Alexicag. With the serve will be number 4, Heffron. Maddie Heffron, and that's going to be long. So Cougars doing a good job here of keeping a little bit of separation with the lead. It's been going from 1 to 2 points, but not giving up the lead. That was Ann Clark with the serve, picked up by Lay. Set goes over to Stevenson with the kill. Quick work there by the Lady Knights, getting the point, crawling to within 1. St. Francis on top, 14-13. Pilat. D'Agostino spike, heads OB. 15-13 is your score. As Nikki Marshall calls for Ava Kunkler with the sub. So Cassidy Ramel now to serve it up for St. Francis. Ramel took a little bit off that serve there as it goes out of bounds. No, it's a little tough to see those volleyball lines as they are gray. Marian pulls within 1. Kunkler, that one's going to be blocked by number 9 and number 2, Trout and Strebels, who are tied at 15. Short set, D'Agostino. That's going to be trouble for the Knights as Megan D'Agostino gets the kill. Kendra Seifring checks back in for D'Agostino. So it's Valerie Flick now with the serve for St. Francis. Set. And Sawyers hits it right into the net. Attacking error for the Lady Knights. Lady Cougars up by 2 once again, 17-15. Marian entered tonight's match having won 3 straight matches by a score of 3-0. And that's over Spring Arbor, Goshen, and Bethel. So Lady Cougars definitely rising to the level of their competition as Ava Kunkler gets the kill. That's right, it is. Lady Cougars up 18-15. Today's game brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine.
Beautiful baby, you're sweeter than strawberry pie, just like the morning your smile brings the sunshine.
The Parkview Family Birthing Centers, with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Back at the Hutzel Athletic Center, 18-15 is your score here in set number 3. We are tied up at 1 set apiece, and currently leading all players in kills is Ava Kunkler, Alexa K. Shields, and Franny Stevenson. Those 3 players have 10 kills apiece. Valerie Flick with 13 digs, Julie Hoying with 21 assists, Maria Pilak with 37 assists for St. Francis. Kill, Sawyer. I think the air conditioner just kicked on. A little chilly up here in the Crows space. Back to serve will be Hoying, number 5. Julie Hoying. And that's going to be a service ace. That one just got away from Clark. (17-18) your score. Flick. Bump goes over. That was Kunkler. Huge block by Shields along with Strebels. Hoying once again. Ooh, set. It was a good idea there, but just a little bit too far out in front of Kendra Seafring. So Marian takes the lead 19-18. Cougars pretty much have been in the lead all match long. Ooh, big hit. Big let's go from Casey Sawyers there. She did a number on that ball. Currently in this match, St. Francis with 38 kills, Marian 33. Cougars attack percentage is at .226, 156 for Marian. 38 assists for St. Francis, 33 for Marian. 38 digs for the Cougars, 38 for the Knights. 4 aces for the Lady Knights, 1 ace for the Lady Cougars. Marian with 10 blocks, 6 blocks for St. Francis. Game 1 percentage, 353 for St. Francis, .059 for Marian, .088 for the St. Francis in set number 2, .281 for Marian, and so far here in set number 3, .240 for St. Francis and a 160 for Marian. Looking at some of the player statistics, Cassidy Ramo with 9 kills, 4 digs, 1 Whoa, no. All right, Cassidy Ramo's got 9 kills, 25 attacks. Kendra Seafring with 5 kills, 11 attacks. Ann Clark, 21 attacks, 8 kills. Megan D'Agostino, 11 attacks, 4 kills. Ava Kunkler with 10 kills on 23 attacks. There's Kunkler at the middle of the net. Now over to Shields. Flick. Kunkler from the back row. That was Holly, number 8. And Sawyer, as Seafring tips it over. Hoying sets it up for Shields. Nice dig by Pilak. In the back row, that was Holly. And getting the point is Struggles. 3-point advantage for Marian, up 21-18. Hoying, jump serve. That was Clark from the back row. Seifring from the middle of the floor. Short set. And Seifring was right there, just maybe mistimed her leap. Point goes to Marian, up 22-18. Serve goes right into the net. Service error for Marian. St. Francis only down by 3, 22-19. Maria Pilak. Set goes behind. That's going to be blocked out of bounds as it goes right off Kunkler OB. Marian's up 23-19. Number 12, Casey Sawyers with the serve. Set goes over to Kunkler. Pilak behind her over to Seifring. Out of the back row, that was a bump by Hoying. And getting the kill is Shields. Set point for the Lady Knights, up 24-19. In for St. Francis, number 1, Katerina DiBiasio, the freshman from Monroe Central High School out of Albany, Indiana. Albany, excuse me. Nice kill. That was Kendra Seifring throwing it down. Lady Cougars down by 4, 24-20 is your score. Cassidy Rammel currently taking a breather for St. Francis. Nikki Marshall with the serve. Shields. Pilak sets it up behind for Clark from the right side with the kill. And Clark pulls the Lady Cougars to within 3. Clark now has 9 kills in 22 attacks. Marshall. And that's going to go off lay. Point, Lady Cougars. And just like in set number 1, Nikki Marshall bringing the Lady Cougars back from the service line. 4 straight points there in set number 1 for Nikki Marshall. As Lady Cougars were down, I want to say it was 23-19 and tied it up at 23, and Lady Cougars eventually winning it 26-24. Stevenson, that was number 2, and Strevels with the kill. Marian takes set number 3, 25-22. We head to the deciding set number 4 if Marian's to take it. We'll take a break up here in the booth. We'll be back with you for the 4th set. You're watching Cougar Volleyball, presented by Parkview Sports Medicine, the exclusive sports medicine provider of the Cougars and Fort Financial Credit Union.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website, SummitCitySports.com. Live stream high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne area athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Summit City. Back here at the Hut, moments away from the start of set number 4. Right now it's Alexa K. Shields with 11 and Franny Stevenson with 11 kills to lead Marian. Leading St. Francis is Ava Kunkler with 10. Ann Clark and Cassidy Rammel have 9. Kendra Seifring with 5. Megan D'Agostino with 5. Maria Pilak has 1. Carson Isaac, yeah, her listed down as 1. Not sure that I've seen her on the floor. Looking at the digs, Valerie Flick with 13, 8 for Ann Clark, Pilak with 9. Nikki Marshall has 4, Cassidy Rammel has 4. Maria Pilak with 39 assists. Julie Hoying has 27. Maddie Heffron has 11. We're almost set here for the 4th set. Marian 6-0 in their last Crossroads League, in their only 6 Crossroads League matches. They are 6-0. And Marian has won 4 of those, 3 sets to 0, and 2 of them 3 sets to 1. So we'll see what the Lady Cougars can do here in set number 4 if we can put together another run. Once again, recapping the scoring, 26-24 St. Francis, 25-21 Marian, 25-22 Marian. Lady Cougars keeping it extremely close here at the Hut. So we get all set for set 4. With the serve will be Hoying, Julie Hoying for Marian. Hoying knocks it over. It's picked up by Rammel. Set, short set to Seifring. It's long. Marian's up, 1-0. Hoying once again. She's got a pretty hard serve there as well. Ann Clark, that's going to be in for a kill. Holly having issues there from the back row. Megan Hawley in this game, she's played in all 4 sets. 1 error on 1 attack, 1 service error. She's got 9 digs. Shields. Wow. Interesting looking ball there. It's like it had eyes of itself. Two to 1. Sawyer with the serve. Set over to Clark, just a bit long. Marian's up now 3 to 1. Another big hit by Sawyer. And at the net, Pilak, she just got carried into the net after that first strong touch. 4 to 1's your score. Once again, Sawyer. And that's just a bit long, so point for the Lady Cougars. Some damage done though. The Lady Knights up 42. So it's Ann Clark now to serve. Set goes behind. Kill going to be awarded to Franny Stevenson. 5-2 Marian. This pick up by Marshall. Rammel throwing it down. Cassidy says let's go with her team down by 2. For Cassidy, that's her 10th kill of the match. Remember, she's had 3 matches of 17 kills or more. Second time in 4 matches. So she's going for the 3rd time in 5 matches with 17 kills. Point. Knights. 6-3 is your score. Now with the serve, that was number 4. That is Heffron, the setter. She's like the second setter. Heffron. And that's a carry going to be called on number 7's Franny Stevenson. It'll be Valerie Flick back for the serve. (6-4) your score. Flick with the serve. Sawyer from the back row, and Stevenson, middle floor. Ann Clark was there. Just fell a little bit short in front of her. (7-4) Marian on top. Be Hawley with the serve. Rammel. Set goes over to Ava Kunkler, blocked at the net, picked up by Pilak. Kunkler looking for the corner and finds it just beyond the outstretched arm of number 8, Megan Hawley. Lady Cougars now pull within 2, 7-5. So it's Pilak. And this long service error for number 12. Checking in to serve will be number 16, Maddie Kearns. Set, Kunkler. Kearns out of the back row. No, that was Hawley. And that Sawyer kill gives Marian the lead, 9-5. Casey Sawyers, senior outside hitter, 5'11". Pilak right over to Seafring. That was Heffron with the pickup. Pilak now over to Kunkler. It's going to be blocked OB. Point, St. Francis. Kunkler's going to check out. Marshall checks back in. Vanessa Lay is going to check in for the Marian University Knights, the DS. Nikki Marshall now with the serve for St. Francis. Her team down by 3, 9-6. Hawley had to go low to get it. That was sent over by Hannah Trout, number 9. Flick over to Ann Clark, partially blocked. As the set goes over to Sawyers. Nice pancake by Pilak. And a dump shot, Seafring's there. And they're going to give the point to St. Francis. Lady Cougars only down by 2, 9-7. Against the number 25 ranked team in NAIA. The Marian University Lady Knights. Knights entering tonight's contest with a 14-2 overall record, 6-0 in conference play. Their only 2 losses of the season came on the road against St. Xavier and against Trinity Christian. St. Francis now pulls within 1. 9-8 is your score. Nikki Marshall. Set goes behind, and a big hit for Hannah Trout. Marian's up by 2. Hoying and Shields will check in for the Knights. Hoying's jump serve, that's going to go way long. Lady Cougars 9, Marian 10. Valerie Flick's going to check out as Megan D'Agostino checks in. To serve is Kendra Seafring. That ball is picked up by Hoying. Shields is right there to send it over. Marshall Rammel on the third hit. Hoying behind her to Shields. And did that fall in? Sure did for a point. That actually looked like the right call. It's going to be Casey Sawyers to serve. Throwing it up in the air. She throws that ball up about 15 feet. Boy, think of the kind of coordination it takes just to throw the ball that high to where you want it to be. Point, St. Francis. Rammel getting her done here in set number 4. Cassidy now in this match has 12 kills on 28 total attacks. Ava Kunkler has 29 total attacks and has 12 kills to lead St. Francis. Oh, that one hit too hard. Rammel was there to clean up the mess. We're tied at 11. Clark. Hoyer behind her to Shields. As that set took Shields backwards. That's going to be blocked out of bounds. St. Francis takes the lead now, 12-11. Huge play right there for Lady Cougs. Clark. Good job. Oh, and a long hit for Ann Strevels. Great work there by Pelak, keeping that ball alive. Strevels looked like she had a kill shot there, and she hit it into the cheap seats. Clark. Set. Nice pickup by Ann Clark as Franny Stevenson had the spike. Hoyer behind her to Shields. Shields with the dink shot. Kept alive by, that was Flick. Set goes over to Stevenson. Rammel. Short set. And it's like that's Maddie Omo into the match, number 9 for St. Francis. Rammel kept alive by Omo and kept alive by Marshall, but the kill going to go to Ann Strevels. 13-12 your score. In for Marian now is Sarah Clem. Madeline Omo, middle hitter, freshman, 6'1" from Bishop Dwenger High School out of Fort Wayne. Bishop Dwenger, the number 1 ranked team in Class 3A here in the state of Indiana. Last year they were led by Maddie Omo and Abby Brodrow. St. Francis coach Scott Haddock's going to call a timeout, and we are tied at 13. You're watching Lady Cougar Volleyball, brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine and Fort Financial Credit Union.
Beautiful baby, you're sweeter than strawberry pie. Just like the morning, your smile brings the sunshine.
The Parkview Family Birthing Centers, with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
back here at the Hutzel Athletic Center where we're all knotted up at 13s here in set number 4. Marian leads it 2-1 in this match, and Franny Stevenson has 13 kills for the Knights. Alexa K. Shields has 14. Cassidy Ramel leads St. Francis with 14. Ava Kunkler has 12, and Ann Clark has 10. Maria Pilak, the freshman setter, with 46 assists. And the sophomore defensive specialist, Valerie Flick, has 17 digs as that serve is going to go long. St. Francis takes back the lead, 14-13. Every single one of these sets have been extremely close, as you can see from the scoreboard up in the top left corner of your screen. It'll be Cassidy Ramel now with the serve. Her squad up by 1, 14-13. All right, we're at. Ready to get going here, Ramel. Hoying just a little bit short on that set. Was hit in the net by Stevenson. 15-13 your score. Cassidy Ramel with the service. Rally scoring here in the NEIA. Shields, and nice dig by Clark, and then Pilak in the net. Seems like that's about the hardest, is when you got to dig that ball out of the net and keep it alive. And Clark, a nice dig by Hoying. And that's going to be wide. 16-13, now your score. Ramel jump serve. Big kill there for Alexa K. Shields. That'll bring her team within 2 points, 16-14. Cassidy Ramel's going to check out. Into the match is number 1 for the second time, Katerina DiBiasio. DiBiasio is from Albany, Indiana, Monroe Central High School. Good pick up by Lay with the dig. Set from Pilak, goes over to Clark. Clark was chasing or running towards the net, and that set stopped her right in her tracks. So not the most fluid play that the Lady Cougars wanted out there. Oh, strong first hit. That went right off the top of the head of Pilak. Now we're tied at 16. Ooh. Maddie Heffron with a big hit. Service error. 17-16, Lady Cougars. Valerie Flick lined up about 8 feet beyond the service line. Call it 10 feet. Sent over by Franny Stevenson. Set over to Kunkler. Blocked OB. Ava Kunkler with her 13th kill of the match. Kunkler with 13 kills, 5 errors, and 30 attempts. Valerie Flick picked up by Lay. Strong on the first touch. Dump shot. Dug out by Ann Clark. And another point for the Lady Cougars. St. Francis up now 19-16. As we got a timeout going to be called by Marian as they are down by 3 to the Lady Cougars. So once again, folks, After today, the Lady Cougars will be on the road at Spring Arbor on Friday, at Bethel on Saturday. We'll host Huntington next Wednesday here at St. Francis, 7 p.m. And then they'll have almost a week off. They won't play until the following Tuesday when they travel to Mount Vernon Nazarene. About a 4-hour drive, the longest drive in the Crossroads League. And then a day later, on Friday, they'll be at Taylor, and then on Saturday, they'll host Grace College here at USF with a 4 p.m. start. They will not play these Marian University nights, not again until October the 11th at Marian with a 7 p.m. start time. Entering today, St. Francis with 1,170 points, Marian with 1,340 points. Once again, homecoming action. We will have it live here at St. Francis Cougars on our YouTube channel and Facebook page. Football, we also do that on Periscope. So just extending our exposure. 19-16, Valerie Flick with the serve. And that will be short. Cougars up now 20-16. We're almost 2 hours into this match. That set went over to number 3 for Marian, Clem. Now Stevenson with the kill. Had Ann Clark back on her heels. Just ran out of really reach. She was retreating backwards. Just lost her balance a little bit. Hawley with the serve. Clark. And big block at the net. Sawyer was there, along with number 3, Sarah Clem. 20-18 now your score. Clark, that one got into the body a little bit. Kunkler sends it over and hit the antenna. Another point for the Knights, down 20-19. Flick sends it over. Lay. Set from Heffron. Ooh, Sawyer was there and wound up. We're tied at 20. Marian's got all the momentum going for him right now. Here in set number 4, DiBiasio checks out. And Cassidy Rammel back in. Rammel on the back line with Ann Clark and Valerie Flick. Set goes over to Kunkler, as that's going to be blocked on the Marian side. Point for St. Francis, up 21-20. It'll be the freshman, Pilak, with the serve. Flick. Kunkler, that one was picked up by Sawyer. Back to Sawyer. Over to Rammel. Set over Kunkler. Just a bit long. Boy, she cocked back. Oh, they're going to say it was tipped by Marian. So point for the Lady Cougars, up 22-20. Pritchard can't believe it. Ashley Pritchard, the Marian coach in her 6th season. So with the serve now will be Pilak. So that kill by Sawyers will stop the bleeding. And refs taking control of refs just getting control of things. (22-21), St. Francis on top here in set number 4. Pelak, and that's going to be punched over by Ann Clark. Sawyer, that's dug by. And point going to be awarded to Marian. So we are tied at 22. You're watching Lady Cougar Volleyball here on the campus of the University of St. Francis.
Beautiful baby, you're sweeter than strawberry pie. Just like the morning, your smile brings the sunshine.
The Parkview Family Birthing Centers, with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Hutzel Athletic Center, where we have one heck of a match going on here between the number 25 ranked Marian University Lady Knights and your University of St. Francis Lady Cougars. Marian leads it 2-1, and here in set number 4, the score is 22-22. And with the serve, that's number 16, Maddie Kearns. Pelak sets it over to Ann Clark from the opposite side. Once again, over to Sawyers, and that's way long. Point, St. Francis up 23-22. Remember, folks, the 5th set will go to 15 points if St. Francis should rattle off 2 more. And who better to have at the service line than Nikki Marshall, who was instrumental in the Cougars' comeback in set number 1. Marshall was picked up by Hawley. Heffron, dink shot, picked up by Rammel. Nope, set goes over to Rammel. That was Clark. Good block at the net by number 2, Ann Strevels. Tied at 23. Hoying checks in along with Shields. Alexa K. Shields. Julie Hoying. Hoying's rocking the Ralph Macchio headband. Set. Ooh, big block. Oh, and it falls in. Huge hit there by Cassidy Rammel. As we have match point here, Julie Hoying with the serve. Off the top of the net, and that's a tough one. Marian University is going to win it in the 4th set, 25-23. And they'll take the match. Folks, thanks so much for joining us for tonight's broadcast. Once again, it's Marian winning it in 4 sets. 26-24 St. Francis, 25-21, 25-22, and 25-23. Folks, thanks again for joining us. My name's Jeff Mahoney. Until next time, have a wonderful week.